What's going on, guys? Kaiger here, and we've had a big exploit that's been going on since the game released on NA several months ago. We're going to talk about what the exploit was, what happened to the users, and where the conversation is right now. Let's get into it. So, what was the exploit? As an official content creator, I am not supposed to call attention to exploits, but it's already been fixed. I've confirmed that it is fixed, so I think it's fine to talk about it now. So if we take a look over here at Expedition, you have your special expeditions as we know, but you also have a rotating, there's 5 expeditions down here. And during the week, you have the today one up there, and on the weekends, it's a different assortment of them, right? So different days, you have different ones that you do. But if you look down here, uh, you'll see on the far right it says paid entry available. You can pay extra crystals to do extra attempts on ones that are not the one of the day. So what was happening was, let's say roads right here is my one of the day. I've already done mine, but you get the 2 per day and you can recharge up to 3 times. So you have 8 per day. What was happening was you could go to, let's say today is water roads. I could do fire Teletus, pay the crystals to enter, and then I could do those 8 runs that were on water roads, but it would not count. I would still have 8/2, even though I do the 8 runs. And then I could do it again, do it again, do it again. There was something around like almost 3,000 a day cap. Uh, you could do it 3 times because, as you see right here, recharge once. You could daily recharge 3 times for this. So you can do a recharge and then do however many tickets you had. So the 8, you could do 888, so do 24. But what people were doing, where they were getting it because it's not using up that 8, they would bank that 8 and then the next day do the 3 recharges all the way up till they have 99, which in repeat battle is the limit of what you could do. So they were doing 99, 99, 99, about 300 per day. And although it isn't the best rewards, this is giving you a bunch of sky stones, a bunch of skill books, a bunch of rainbow mon, uh, all these things, and gold. So they were getting a ton of all these resources. Now let's talk about what happened to these users that were found exploiting. Alright, so this is the action that was taken. Expedition abuse planned measure notice. All unfair gains will be taken away. All the currency and such, not able to get in. They're taking currency items. Target people, the people who did the thing. So what we have is people, whatever they have, they put them in negative. So as we see right here, 17 million skystone and 41 million gold in the negative. That is pretty ridiculous, right? And this is someone that wasn't doing it since day 1, but was doing it for quite a while. Now, what's interesting is they are in negative. So once they have these in positives, then they're fine. But in order to teleport to different places on the map or use the airship to go to different continents, it costs 0 gold. But as you see, they have less than 0 gold, so they're unable to change regions. They're unable to do things like that. What they can do is there is a friend summon ticket that they can make an alt, or they can have someone else and use that friend summon ticket and jump around, or the $100 paid airship works through this, meaning that nothing happens besides they can't craft anything because that requires gold. They can't upgrade anything that requires gold. They can't do a lot of things in the game. This is very reminiscent of Diablo Immortal, what they were doing. And what happened over there is people were charging back because they felt they were getting scammed by the game. And while this is, different circumstances, uh, what they did is pretty similar. And what they did was, if you charged back, they took away the same amount of money you charged back of the paid currency. So in here it would be crystals, and you could not do PvP or group content until that number was in the positive. And that's paid currency. This is unpaid currency, and they can still do everything in the game without that. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about that. But now let's take an interesting look at where the conversation is now. So if you take a look right here, I believe this was at the end of February that they made this change to the rules. And if we take a look, minor offense, first time 3 days, second time 7 days, third time permanent. Now second time is 5 days, third time is 7 days. Severe, which I believe this would be severe. First offense 7 days, second offense 15 days, third offense permanent. Now you have to have the conversation of, is this a first offense, or is this however many times they did it offense? Because we have an interesting situation. This has been in the game for 8 months, I think the game's been out in NA. And if this has just been a thing they've been able to do the whole time, while I think most people would know that this was an exploit and that they were messing up, but if it's been there so long, like, what is the cutoff? Is it if this exploit's been in the game for 2 months? Should we consider it a part of the game? That's something that happens in World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, things like that. There's exploits all over the place. Even speedrunners for video games, they literally use exploits to do the speedrun. Do we consider this is a moral question? But what's interesting here, ignore, let's say it's 1 or 3. It doesn't really matter to this next point. But what's interesting is it says nothing about taking stuff away from you. If we go by the rules as written, if this was a first offense, they would be unable to log in for 7 days, but they would keep everything. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel that would be. Morally, as a player and as a person, I think that's fucked. I think this should all be updated to include stuff like that, which theoretically it does, as someone else had pointed out over here. This is them saying, we can change this is our stuff, we can change the rules when we feel like it, and it's up to you to keep track of when we make changes, even though it's not posted everywhere all the time. And then a couple things you're agreeing to, that you're 13 years old, if you're between 13 and 18, blah, 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 which is very interesting. Really, I just want to, I got a lot of questions in all the Discords, including the official Discord and several others, asking what happened, like what was the exploit, what happened to these people. And I also wanted to give you kind of where we're at right now, because a lot of these people are talking about chargebacks, which we have some people who are just going to stick it out, and then put themselves back in the positive. And then some people that are just quitting, just putting it to the side, saying, hey, it was a good run. Let me know how you feel about the situation down below. Until next time, guys.